Y'all.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Murder with My Sister.
This is the Friday the 13th spooky episode. You're not
Woo!
hearing it on Friday the 13th, but it is actually Friday the 13th right now.
Why you gotta deflate my goddamn balloon so fast? I hadn't even finished my spiel.
Okay, do your spiel. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it doesn't need to be scary stuff just on Halloween time. It can be Friday the 13th. We are your podcasting hosts for this spooky evening.
Welcome to Murder with My Sister.
Yeah, did I say my name is Lisa?
I don't know,
I don't
it
either.
is. But it is.
It really is. All day and a couple more times on Sunday.
And I'm Marie.
And this is a good one. So I just told you that I had to talk to you about something.
Yeah, what you
What
got?
was it? Oh, I had a motherfucker of a week at work this week.
Uh-oh.
I had to go in 4 days instead of being remote too. I was in
Ew.
4 out. Yeah, no, it was horrible. And I
Ew.
also had to be at work at like 7 a.m. Like an on time 7 a.m. Like not even
Oh,
like
no. Like leave your
I
house
know.
at 6 a.m.?
Right.
Oof.
My alarm was going off at 4 a.m. I am so fucking nervous that my internal clock is off because I normally get up at 3 a.m. with a cold, like, what do they call the night sweat? And then I have trouble going back to sleep, and sometimes I have to read.
It's a
The last
hot flash.
hot flash. Thank you. What did I say?
Cold sweat.
Hot,
Night sweat.
whatever.
I don't know, something.
Anyways, the last 2 nights I've gotten up at 1:30 because I'm getting up earlier. So did my internal clock reset? And it's also daylight savings. So this week should have been the worst week for me for internal clock setting. And now I'm nervous that like tomorrow is Saturday and I'm not going to be able to sleep late, or worse, that like sleeping until 5:30 is going to feel like I slept until like the late morning hours.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Well,
that sucks for you. Do you want to know what happened to me today?
Fuck yeah, I do.
All right. So Fridays in the office
The
can
13th?
be any of them, but yes, can be just like you're just like waiting for the shit to happen. You're waiting.
You mean that literally, don't you?
Yes.
Because you work with butts and guts. And also, no, I
Yes.
don't what that is because I'm usually remote on Fridays.
All right. Well, listen, every other month, I have to work on Fridays. And then the other months I work on Mondays.
Right.
So I work 4 days a week, but I flip. Okay.
Because she's a nurse.
So today I was in the office. It's my Friday. It's Friday the 13th.
Oh, shit.
I think it's a lucky day. I'm like, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to call Friday the 13th a lucky day, not a sad, like, scary day, but whatever.
Okay.
It was fine. It was fine.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. Okay.
Okay.
4:50.
Yeah. 4:50 at the end of the day.
4:50.
Real
The
late.
girl, the poor person who is left at the front desk until 5 o'clock runs back. She's like, oh, thank God you're here.
5 o'clock? Who works until 5?
Yes.
Isn't that against the law?
I don't think so, but whatever.
Why is anybody open till 5 anymore?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
So she runs back. Now, mind you, I was finishing up my note. I was closing windows. I was going to shut that bitch down for the weekend.
Shut it down.
Like, I don't even put her to sleep. I shut her down for the weekend.
I shut mine down every night, but I'm old, so.
And then I had already ordered my food.
Oh, no, not the food order. No.
So she comes running back and she's like, oh, thank God you're here. The lab's on the phone. And I was like, mother.
You know what you should have done? You should have froze and don't talk to, and just been like dead freeze. Like right now, guys, I'm frozen. And don't
Is that
say
what Aubrey
anything.
does?
And then you just don't say anything. And 2 things will happen. She'll either stop talking and back out because she'll think you've lost your mind. Or she actually will be like, I don't see you, do I? You're not here. And she'll pick up on your cue and be like, no, I'm not here. Go ahead.
Man. So 4:50, lab's on the phone. Can you take it? They say they have a critical result. And I was like, motherfucker.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
I know what it is. I get
I
on the
don't wanna know that
phone,
on Friday at night at
right?
5 PM.
I am like, hey, it's Marie. And she's like, oh, thank goodness. I have a
Oh,
critical result
no.
for you. So, like, legally, they can't just send it to your in basket. If it's something alarming, they have to notify someone. And if I wasn't there, they would page whoever's on call. But I knew what it was. I already
You
knew
knew
what it
what it
was.
was. You
And I
knew
was
what it
like,
was. You were
"Ugh."
waiting f
I was like, all
were
right.
you were you
Mm.
trying to get out of the office before they called you? Like, is that how you knew like, that kinda know what it was? Or just,
No.
like, you knew it was inevitable that it was coming back that?
Yeah. I mean,
Tell me.
I kind of felt like I didn't think it was going to be positive, honestly,
Tell me.
but
I'm here for it.
whatever. So she's like, patient so and so, she has positive C. diff. And I was like, motherfucker. So
I don't know
Clostridium
what that means.
Clostridium difficile is a very
Not
common.
Clostridium difficile.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
It's a nowadays a rather common bug that people catch and causes terrible diarrhea. When I first started as a nurse 20 plus years ago, C. diff
Mhm.
was something that you only caught when you were in the hospital because you were
Mhm.
around sick people. So these people would
Mhm.
be in the room. You couldn't go in without gowns and gloves and things like that. They were isolated from everyone else, super catchy, blah, blah, blah. Now
Outbreak style?
it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
MRSA, like it's everywhere now.
Oh. Oh, God.
So here's the fun thing about C. diff is it's not killed by hand sanitizer.
Okay.
The only thing that will kill it is bleach. So everybody out there who's walking around hand sanitizing all day long, you ain't doing nothing for that one.
But only for that one.
There might be others, but that one's the big one.
Don't do this to me on a Friday.
I'm telling you. So I'm like,
Not on a Friday. I had such a
so
bad week.
the rule of thumb is that
Uh,
whenever you can,
yeah.
whenever there is soap and water available, you should be washing your hands because you're not going to
Yeah, for
kill it.
sure.
You're just going to wash it off your hands, right? But the alcohol-based hand sanitizer ain't doing nothing. So as soon as you
Okay.
are able to or have the access to soap and water, you wash it off your hands. It goes down the drain
Okay.
and life goes on.
So you don't kill
So
it, you wash it off.
correct.
No one has ever said this to me about anything viral before.
Well, all of the viruses and all of the bacterias are like that. Yes.
Why no.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Fucking my whole world is shattered right now. Can
So
open worms everywhere. Everywhere.
so basically this one causes like terrible diarrhea. We're talking like 10, 20 bowel movements a day. Like you can't leave the house. You're pooping your pants, like all the things.
Mhm.
So I have to call this lady who is understandably a very difficult patient. She's been through a lot. She's had a lot of surgery, joint issues, and then infected joints, and now she keeps getting these infections. Now, the other thing C. diff does is if you take a sinus like antibiotic for something, it gets rid of the good gut bacteria as well as the bad gut bacteria because it's an antibiotic. It doesn't know any better. It just
Mhm.
kills everything. And
Okay.
that allows C. diff to take hold and overgrow.
Okay.
So typically one of the risk factors is that you've had antibiotics recently and it's like a yeast infection. It just takes its opportunity. Nowadays, unfortunately, there can be no risk factor. You just picked it up at the grocery store and it is what it is.
C.
But
diff?
yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, so this lady in particular, she's had multiple infections and it all started with I think a joint replacement and then she got an infection in the joint. They're super difficult to treat, so she was on extended long-term antibiotic regimens and then she got these complications. So it was like just one thing after another, this poor lady. And I was like, as soon as she told me the lab lady, she's like, the patient's name, I was like, no, not this poor lady. She was really good. I called her. I told her, she's like, yeah, there we are. Whatever. I'm seeing her next week. We'll see her how she's doing, whatever. But I
You're gonna
was
see her in
like,
person?
yeah, she'll be, I've already sent in her medicine, so she'll be good by
Oh,
then.
okay.
So it was just one of those things. It's like Friday the 13th, fucking literally putting my purse on my shoulder. And then
Mhm.
it's the patient that you don't want to have any positive anything for because she's
Yeah.
been through it and she's not a happy lady and she has every reason not to be a happy lady. And I'm
Ugh.
like, man, that sucks. Just sucks so bad. It sucks.
It does. It sucks that you had a caller. It sucks that it came positive. It
Yeah.
sucks that you were almost out. It sucks that you didn't play invisible. There's a lot of
So
factors here that I'm
So I'll tell you
processing.
another fun fact, and it might be even
That
different.
first one wasn't fun, just so you're aware.
With
We can talk about
you
humor later.
mentioned like C. diff. I said you could pick it up at the grocery store now, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
this was 20 years ago. Because remember when I worked at Christ Hospital on the night shift
I do.
when I was a baby nurse? Okay.
Uh-huh.
They did cultures in
Uh-huh.
rooms where people with C. diff had been inpatient stays.
Uh-huh.
And then the people come in and they literally wash the walls with some pretty scary chemicals, right? They
I
wash
love the smell of
everything.
bleach.
They wash it all.
I love the smell of
They
bleach.
came in the rooms
Uh-huh.
6 months later,
Uh-huh.
ran a Q-tip over the
No,
countertop.
no! No!
It was still there.
No! You're the worst. You're the worst. You've been talking for like 9 minutes and 15 seconds
Oh,
just to fucking tell me that horrible fucking story. And
It's horrible.
that's your punchline?
That's
Is
it.
that no matter what, a
Nope.
Q-tip is gonna fucking ruin my life?
Yep.
You're the worst. Everybody
So
just left. Just so you know, everybody who was listening is now gone. They're all
Bye.
washing their walls with bleach.
So there it is. Wash your fucking hands, people. Oh, let's put that on a
Ugh.
t-shirt. Wash your fucking hands.
Do you wanna know something so bad?
What?
I'm not ready to share. I'm not ready to share. Fuck it, I'll share. Nobody knows me yet. One of the girls at work, Miss Simone, she tells me a couple weeks ago, months ago, whatever. She's like, Lisa, you believe it? She's like, there's some people that don't wash their hands after they use the bathroom at
Oh,
home.
oh, oh.
And I was like, I know where you're going with this. And I'm like, Simone, you can lump me right in with that category. And she's like, no, Lisa, I'm judging you. I might be judging you right now. And I'm like, and that's perfectly fine. Do you know how many times a day my hands are in soap and water at home? Dozens and dozens and dozens. They are dry, flaky, cracky, old hands. Because if I didn't wash my hands after I didn't pee on them and wipe myself or shit on myself, then I'm going to have them in water 5 seconds later when all of my kids realize they have to go pee. Because inevitably, their piss will get on me or their boogers or their poo.
Oh,
So at some
boogers.
point, I am washing my hands multiple, multiple, multiple times a day.
Good. They're saving your life.
No,
Good
they're
job.
not. We're sick all the time.
It could be worse.
All the time. Oh my God. I hope nobody in Eric's family is listening, but if they are, I don't even care. Do you know when Cash had rhinovirus a couple weeks ago and
Yeah.
strep and scarlet fever?
Yeah.
And his mom comes over to watch Aubrey twice a week.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, you maybe need to wipe your house down with some Clorox wipes or something.
Get the fuck out of here.
She's fucking said that to me. And I was like, Sherry, I'll have you know, not only do I wipe my house down with Clorox wipes, but I also use a vinegar water dissolution. Dissolution?
Sure.
Dissolution. That's the one.
Yeah.
And I also have cleansing alcohol from my salon days that I still religiously swear by. But you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter when you go to turn to your son and you're like, how? And your mouth is open and he fucking sneezes in your mouth. Okay? None of it matters.
Oh man, I might vomit if he does that to me.
He will look at me, grab the sides of my face, and kiss me on my mouth.
Ugh.
And there's boogers coming out of his nose.
No.
There is spit coming out of his mouth. There's liquid coming out of his eyeballs. It's as if his face is leaking. And he looks at me with that precious runny face and he says, I love you, Mom. And I'm like, just plant one on me, buddy. Just plant one right on me. We're in this together now.
Ew.
So it doesn't fucking matter.
So gross.
Wow, that was 14 minutes of medical training 101.
Gross,
Oh, also
gross,
we all got
gross.
our Girl Scout merit badges for that one. Now we all
Yay!
know proper hand sanitation and disinfection.
That's right.
Not really. Sanitation is removing dirt. Disinfection is killing, right?
I mean, you're the salon person. You would know better than me.
Oh, you give me a lot of credit. Listen, here's what alcohol does great things to my body. So I would assume that cleansing alcohol does great things to my station.
Sure.
Also, it smells like cherries.
So I
It's
need.
amazing. It
It's
smells like
great.
cherries and alcohol. It's so great.
It'll be great.
It'll be great. We made leprechaun traps last week, just
Oh
so you know.
no.
Mhm. I was like,
Good
we're going to
job.
catch some leprechauns.
Good job.
We did not, though.
Well,
Okay.
all right.
Wait, last update for all of you who were curious, because I know you're chomping at the bit at home. I bought some new stuff for my office. I got a new office chair that has arms and a headrest.
Shut
So I can
up. You
do
have an actual office chair, not a kitchen chair anymore?
It was a dining room chair. And no, I have an actual office chair with good rollers on the feet
Good for
and
you.
arms
Good for
and
you.
lumbar support.
Did you buy my fucking air mattress for when I come to visit? Did ya?
I thought you said you were going to send me one.
All right. If I'm gonna send you one, I have one. I'm sending it to you.
Is it gigantic?
No, it's
Okay.
so you know how they have the exercise mats like in the gym and they fold up into like a little accordion?
Yeah, Aubrey has one.
All right. So it's like that where it folds
Oh,
up like
God.
that. It's a
Uh-huh.
memory foam
It's not.
and you just put it on the floor.
No, you don't.
You do.
You're gonna be miserable.
I
Just get
shouldn't
a
do it?
mattress. Just get an air mattress.
All
Send me the
right.
picture and I will guide you through this.
But
I will guide you.
but it looks so good. It looks like a floor
Everything on the internet looks so
mattress.
good. You gotta read the reviews. You gotta read the reviews, sis.
All right, fine. All right, fine.
I
I'll
got some
think about it.
fucking janky ass shit in the last few months. And then I have to send it back. I got a pencil sharpener that works for shit. Gotta send it back.
Pencil sharpener.
Fuck you. I didn't want to do it myself.
Oh no.
Okay.
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I was just gonna ask you, do you want me to go first?
I don't care. Do you want to go
So
first?
what we're doing today, guys,
Okay.
because it is Friday the 13th, is that we're telling spooky stories. And we did this because we have been doing some very depressing stories. Not that any of them will ever not be, as a true crime podcast
I
is
agree.
want to depress you.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really, really had a lot of fun recording Bachelor's Grove and Resurrection Mary. They're
Yeah, we did.
hands down two of my favorite stories to date. And
Turtles
I really
and
love
bicycles
them.
everywhere.
I don't even know them. So I was like, can we do like one? And we knew Friday the 13th was coming up. So instead of my sister and I doing the same story, we're gonna break it up with a two story parter
twofer.
stories. A 2 for 1.
A
Okay.
twofer.
So I'll go first.
Okay.
So my
Okay,
sources
go.
for okay. I'm going to try that again. My sources for this story are a podcast called History and Honeys, The Eastland Disaster.
God damn it.
God damn it all to hell.
Before we get too far in,
Did
I've
you
asked
really
my
make a fucking post-it
Yes.
with that?
I asked my sister to check the hotspot because we've had some technical difficulties before. And it
off,
kept her up
goddammit.
till it kept her up till midnight. You're welcome. You're welcome, bitch.
Why are the technical errors always on my part? Everybody
I
at
don't
work
know.
is screaming, duh. It's okay. A Wikipedia page, SS Eastland, eastlanddisaster.org, and then a CBS News recording, whatever, Chicago Hauntings, The Ghost of the Eastland Disaster. So if you haven't picked it up by now, I'm covering the Eastland disaster. So we're going to start July 24th, 1915.
Nice.
They barely had like cars or any. Actually, they did have cars.
No, they did. Yeah.
And they had boats, because we're going to talk about it. And
Yep.
this was supposed to be, everybody's going down to the Chicago River because it was going to be the picnic of the year.
Yeah, baby.
Back when employee picnics were all the fucking rage.
Yeah, that was good times.
7,000 employees of the Western Electric Company. 7,000.
That's a lot.
Like, that's so many people.
yeah.
I'm having anxiety just thinking about it. We're dressed in their Sunday best. and they lined the banks of the Chicago River. They were heading for a day of sun and sand across Lake Michigan. They think they were going to Michigan City, Indiana.
Ooh, okay.
Great time. I know there's a casino there that I really liked. But the air was thick with the smell of coal smoke and excitement. Ooh. At the center of it all was the SS Eastland. But the Eastland had a secret.
Uh-oh.
Zoom up here about a 125er. I couldn't see my story.
I'm going to make mine bigger right now.
Yeah, do it. I was like, wow, this is tiny. To those who sailed her, she was known as the Speed Queen. To those who designed her, she was a structural
Yes.
nightmare. She was a top-heavy old gal, just like yours truly, temperamental, just
Oh,
like yours
God.
truly, and prone to listing at the slightest provocation, just like yours truly.
But they thought it was a good idea to put 7,000 people on her?
Oh, yeah. It was a great idea. This is the story of the SS Eastland disaster and its corresponding Chicago ghost story.
So, no OSHA back then, I guess, huh?
No, they had ship inspectors. They
Okay.
were called maritime inspectors, and I'm going to tell you about them.
All right,
Or
go.
maybe not so much. So the ship was ordered to be built, or was commissioned, as they say, during 1902 by the Michigan Steamship Company and built by the Jenks Shipbuilding Company.
Okay.
Its initial purpose was to carry people to and fro from West Michigan or Indiana, and it was also meant to carry produce to and from the surrounding areas. So here's what I didn't know. I mean, I do, but I didn't. Like Lake Michigan and all the Great Lakes were such that they had a cluster of people that were building boats for them.
Oh.
Okay. So they're like, we're going to build this SS Eastland, and then we're going to build a bunch just like it. And their purpose is to go from surrounding areas because we know that the Great Lakes are an ocean in the middle of the land.
Yes.
They're not lakes. They're oceans in the middle of
huge.
a bunch of land. And they're actively trying to kill you at every chance. And I wonder if they were trying to kill you more in 1915 than they are now.
Maybe so.
I don't know. I think they were.
Okay.
So the ship was originally meant to be named the City of South Haven, but a rival company built a ship with the same name. How dare they?
Bitches.
So they had a little contest, and that was a $10 cash prize and a 1-year pass for the winner, who then named it the SS Eastland. I don't know if you had to have any parameters for this, because it doesn't sound like a great name to me, but it
Sailing
was
ship.
1915.
Isn't that what it
Is
meant?
that what it means?
I don't know. That's what I call it. Sailing ship.
That's what it means then.
Sounds like an oxymoron.
So
okay.
there were reported design flaws upon its completion. So like literally it's completed and they're like, whoops, we got a couple problems. It was prone to
No.
listing. So do you know what listing is?
It means it tips over.
Can you
like
say no and I can tell people what it means?
I don't know what that means. Tell me what it means.
Okay, listing is when a boat tilts from one side to the other
Okay.
when its weight is not distributed well.
Okay.
So again, she was also top heavy and didn't have a keel. So it relied on ballast. Do you know what ballast is? Don't
No.
you fucking know?
I don't know what it is. Tell me.
Atta girl. Ballast is heavy material like lead, steel, or water that's placed low in the hull
Okay.
to lower the center of gravity,
Okay.
increasing stability and preventing capsizing. I watched a video on ballast water in ships. Do you know what it is? It's like a big swimming pool in the belly of the ship.
So it just sinks faster. That doesn't sound good.
There's so much about this that's so bad.
There's water in the ship already.
They're like, let's put some shit in here that makes it heavy. Can I just tell you, as I'm reading this and looking it up, and I'm looking up all these things because I didn't know what it, like, you're like, well, of course I know what it is. Bing, the little light bulb goes on. I didn't know.
I thought it was a trivia test. I was like, yes, I got it. Yes, I got it.
Yeah, I know you do ACT. So what I found out was that It's all ugly from day one. But
Okay.
you have cruise ships now that are like
Yeah.
17 stories high.
Yeah.
What is in those?
I don't know.
I
I
didn't want to know. I didn't
I
even look it up because I didn't want to know.
I assume in my brain that however tall they are is how deep they are. And
I
that
think that's false.
and then the deepness under the water, that it's like there's
It's
4
not an
stories.
iceberg, bro.
But there's like 4 stories under the water in addition to 4 stories on top of the water, and it balances it out.
Sis, some of these cruise ships are like 12 stories
Dude,
high.
I'm just telling you what my brain says might be right.
So
I'm
then
not an
if-
engineer.
So that's the one thing you actually don't know. So that so that's
Have I
what
ever
should've
gotten
started.
on one of those boats? No.
So that's our ballast.
Okay.
So boat inspections, they didn't worry about any of these flaws because when the boat was moving across the open inner ocean,
Mm-hmm.
it appeared okay. It was only when it was docked that these problems came up. So they're like, we don't have to worry about this problem when it's sitting still and it starts to look like it's capsizing because it's not actually moving.
Okay.
We're fine.
So let's push her out into the water and
Right into the
look
water.
at her from
And
afar.
She's good then. She's great.
She looks great.
Add some speed. Fort speed. Fourth and speed. So in the years from its construction to 1914, there were multiple occasions of almost capsizing.
Oh, well, shit, it
And
didn't
apparently
happen.
it didn't actually happen, so we're fine. Because they were able to open ballasts and then they would right the wrong.
Okay, got it.
They would add the water. They're like, flood the ballast. And then they're like, aye, aye. And then everything would go back to normal.
Okay.
So basically, they almost sank the ship. And then they're like, yay, we're saved.
We did it. Woof.
So it was also hit by a tugboat, but the tugboat had more damage than the SS Eastland.
Tugboats are tough little guys.
Yeah, not this one. So what happened in 1912 is that the Great Titanic sank.
Yes.
Which led Congress to passing a new law that stated that there needed to be at least enough lifeboats on a boat to cover 75% of its passengers.
Oh, only 75, because 25 is going to die anyway, right?
Okay, so here's the problem. Passengers are people, but crew, they're not people. So it only needed to cover, and then only 75 of its passengers. 75%. So here's what I'm thinking.
That's a lot of people.
They're thinking if something happens, we're pretty solid that 25% of the passengers are fucked no matter what. So we don't got to worry about them getting up and getting out.
And the crew isn't allowed to leave.
And
so
the crew's they got to go down with the ship.
They got to.
They're like, shut up. You're going to get a life jacket.
Okay.
Okay. So they weren't even considered part of the equation.
Wow.
One thing to note is that a lot of boats were built, like I said, like the Eastland. So they traveled the Great Lakes, and then there was this stipulation in this new law that specified that they needed to add new boats. So the SS Eastland was originally designed to hold 500 people and some cargo. So they're like, well, we got to have these new boats, or we got to have these new lifeboats on there. This is going to add more weight. And then there was a captain who's like, hold the fucking phone, motherfuckers. This weight is going to make the boats even more uneven because they're already top heavy.
Yeah.
So they're going to start capsizing. And it's not just the Eastland. He's like, other ones that are built the same way. We can't add this many lifeboats. They're all going to start capsizing.
Yeah.
So, sis, are you familiar? Don't you fucking say you are. Are you familiar with the term irony? No.
Irony? No.
No.
What does that mean?
So it's ironic, sis.
You looked like Fran when you did.
It's ironic because they're making the boats safer with more boats, but
she can't even finish her sentence.
But what's making them safer is also making them unsafe.
That's ironic.
So they're
okay.
That's what irony is.
Oh my God. I feel like I just did 100 countries. I love you.
I love you too. I just wanted to get it.
Thank you. Oh, okay, deep breath. Whew.
I
Good job.
wonder how
Good
many
job.
people turned us off just now.
I
Okay.
bet if this was a live show, everyone would be peeing their pants.
So,
Anyway.
getting back to this whole thing, they were saying, we gotta make it more safe. And the captain's like, okay, but you're making it more unsafe.
Okay.
And they said, don't worry about it. We're gonna do some modifications on this boat. When the Eastland was built, it had 6 lifeboats on board.
That's
In
it?
1915, it's all
For
it needed at the
500
time.
people. Okay.
It's all it needed at the time.
All right.
And also, they're just in Lake Michigan. They're fine. They could just swim to the
They
shore.
could just swim.
They're fine.
Okay.
So, in 1915, it had 11 lifeboats and then 37 life rafts that were 1,100 pounds each.
Oh my Lord.
Do you know how heavy that is?
That's a heavy ass fucking
No, you don't.
lifeboat.
No, you don't know how heavy that
I
is.
don't know. I don't know how heavy that
It's
is.
so heavy. Then, and this is where we're going to talk about that irony thing again, they added 2,570 life jackets that weighed 6 pounds each. Sis, I'm imagining that they're just trying to imagine them giving you a life jacket. You put it on, you fucking fall to the bottom of the ocean. What are you doing? How heavy does the life jacket need to be if it's going to save your life?
Do
Isn't it supposed to float?
It's supposed to float. But do you remember when we were little kids, like before the age of 10?
Okay.
Do you ever remember putting on, like with Grandpa on the pontoon boat or something like that?
The foam ones, they were light.
No, the life jackets that were actually canvas. Like the fabric was heavy. Like it was, that's why they were so fucking heavy. They were canvas, which is super heavy. And then the inside part was the foam. So it would float, but then you couldn't puncture it.
It sounds like you're going right to the bottom.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I never tried them out.
So in addition to all these wonderful modifications, the boat had also been refitted to carry more people. So we got lifeboats, we got life vests, we got some life rafts, and we got life peoples. And we're going to take them all on the most dangerous lake that we all know of, Lake Michigan.
Let's do it.
The lake, you're literally saying, I'm going to fuck with you. And Lake Michigan is saying, no, son, I am going to fuck with you. But it's actually not the lake that does the damage. So a boat inspector is called a marine surveyor. See how I didn't ask if you knew what it was? I don't care anymore. Okay. They are professionals who perform detailed inspections known as surveys to assess a vessel's condition, safety, and seaworthiness for buyers, insurance companies, or lenders. I don't think they had them back then. I think they had like a guy, like a boat guy. Yeah,
they had a guy. They had
a boat guy. And they're like, hey, can you call that boat guy? And he's going to be like, yeah, he said it was fine. Perfect.
He had a corncob pipe, and he was in like this little shack on the edge, and he was like, yeah, like she looks good.
He looked out the window and he's like, looks good. That's the guy.
That's that guy.
So I'm going to get so fucking scientific with you in this next sentence. There were scientific measurements on the Eastland where the metrocentric height of this boat was known to be capsizable. I made that word up. After 4 inches of, what do we call it? Lilt? No, tilt? No.
Yeah, lilt. Lilt. I like lilt.
List?
Lilt?
List.
Yes.
List.
Tipping.
So essentially, I'm going to layman term this out because I had to do it for myself. If the boat tips 4 inches,
to one
it's
side or
going
the
and
other.
it's never coming back. It's going to capsize.
You can't get to 4 inches. You can only lilt to 3 inches. You might get her back.
And then you got to flood those ballasts with more water.
Okay.
And then throw over some lifeboats and
Is
rafts.
someone on the deck with a marble? like
All of
watching
them.
this shit?
All of them are on there. They all have marbles. They're just fucking shooting them all over the place.
Which way are they going?
So in July, on the 24th, 1915,
Okay.
the Eastland and 4 other, because they got to take so many people,
I was going to say that
passenger
you said there's
steamers.
like thousands of people.
There's thousands. It was the Theodore Roosevelt, the Petoskey, the Racine, and the Rochester were all chartered to take employees from Western Electric over to it was their company in Cicero, and they were going to take them to that Michigan City, Indiana for a picnic. So
Okay.
everybody's real excited. You know what else I found out, sis? At that time, 1915, the common work week was 6 days. Is that
Holy
important to the
shit.
story? No. But it's one of those things where I found it out while I was researching. I'm mad because somebody decided 5 weeks or 5 days was the work week.
I am excited that they changed it to 5 at some point, which maybe means they'll change it to 4 at some point.
I think they should have done it by now if they were going to do it.
I think
Because
they
also, who decides that of 7 days, you get 5 and I get 2?
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
I call bullshit.
Okay, so for our company, we only work 1 day a week. Okay, right now. On the morning of the 24th, passengers began boarding the Eastland on the south bank of the Chicago River. So it's in the Chicago River. It's going to go through the lock. It's going to go onto the lake, and it's going to go over to Michigan City.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck yeah, I just did that.
Get
Fuck
the
yeah, I
fuck
did.
out of here. I was
fucking
worried.
did
I was
it.
like, then they got to get out of the river first.
That's right. I took you there.
Oh, no.
You just call me Captain.
All right, Captain.
So it's on the Chicago River between Clark Street and like LaSalle Street. It's
Oof.
6:30 in the morning.
They got a ways to go down the river.
A little bit,
Right?
not too bad.
All right.
By 7:10, so 40 minutes in, and they said that the ship had reached its capacity. Do you want to know what the capacity was from the 500 that it originally was designed for?
Yeah, I do. I want to know what's the new capacity.
I'm very comfortable asking. Do you know what the capacity was?
No,
You don't.
I
No, you
don't.
don't know. This
I
one
don't.
you don't fucking know.
I don't fucking know.
2,572 people. Yes. Sis.
Plus all the lifeboats?
Plus all of them that are going to sink to the bottom anyways.
Oh, no. And all those
They
big dresses.
literally-
You know how heavy those people were?
Huge dresses.
Oh, my God.
Their shoes weighed like 7 pounds.
They were not floating if they fell in the water in those fucking dresses.
Those dresses and shoes weighed so, and then they put a 6-pound life jacket on them. Bye. Bye,
Jesus
girl.
Christ. I can't even think about it.
So
wow.
many passengers were standing on the upper decks of this already top-heavy ship because that's what you do, right?
Yeah, you
right
go
up
to
there
the
and you're
top
like,
and you want to look at
"Hey,
everything.
Bye,
Yeah.
bye, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then some passengers had gone down below to get out of the fog and the smog.
Okay.
So it's at this point that the ship begins to list slightly to port side. I don't know what that means.
Okay, wait. I'll tell you. I learned this on Lethal Weapon. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Go ahead and Miss Know-It-All.
Port is left. They each have 4 letters. Starboard is right.
That's more than 4 letters.
But starboard is right. So
That's
left
2 words and like 18 letters.
Listen. So
I'm
port,
listening.
the port side is the same number of letters as the word left.
Okay.
So port is left.
Okay.
That's all you need to know.
But you just said right has 4 letters. And
No, I said right is starboard. So when they say starboard side,
I
that's
see
right.
what you're saying. So
When they say
here's what I want to
port,
know. Is
you
it
think
right if
left.
you're standing at the front looking back or right if you're standing at the back looking front?
Back looking front, I think.
You don't fucking know.
I don't honestly know, but I'm
so
pretty
you
sure.
didn't know it all, did you, ACT?
I didn't. Quit calling me that. My ACT scores sucked.
So the crew attempted to stabilize the ship by getting more. They're going to let's flood this bitch. Let's get her ballast tanks
Oh,
full.
God. I thought you said they were
They-
going to let more people on and just stand them on the other side.
No, they didn't go that far.
Okay.
They're like, this helped. After 13 minutes, they're like, okay, she's good. She's good. Well, then those people, they just kept standing on that one side. The Eastland lurched sharply to port and then rolled completely onto the port side, coming to rest on the river bottom, which was only 20 fucking feet below the surface. So if you look at the pictures, half of the boat is sticking clean out of the water and the other half is just right underneath the water.
Those people couldn't even get out of the way, like, they were smushed in
They
there.
said so that many of the passengers had moved below deck to be a little cooler, and in this, they were squished. It was
Yeah.
reported from the coroner's reports that so many of them hadn't even drowned, they had suffocated because
Yeah.
they were squished by other passengers.
Yeah, like what
Um
happens at the concerts when people
Yes,
start, like,
yes,
pushing them
sis.
against the fences.
You really do know everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Go fuck yourself.
So, consequently, hundreds of people were trapped inside by the water, and then with the sudden rollover, they were crushed. And
Oh.
then it said, though, that, like, some of the
Oh,
passengers that were on
no.
top and upper, they, like, kinda just, like, crawled they're like, "Ah!" And then they crawled over, and
As
they
it was
literally
turning?
just walked across the ship and then grabbed somebody's hand. They're like, people walked off that boat wreck like they hadn't even gotten their shoes wet.
Whoa.
And then you have other people who were trapped, and then
Yeah,
other people who were thrown into the water,
okay.
other people who were on the other side of the ship and then went under with it. Oh, chaos. So there's lots of screaming, and it's still tied to the banks at this point.
Okay.
So it's not even away from the shore.
Holy shit.
Um One of the people who was able to just walk right off like nothing was the El Capitan. Okay.
Oh, I
So
thought his
he's like
ass was supposed to stay on.
he was right up there. He's like, "Guys, follow me. I got this." And
Good
then they
lord.
start working on the people that were trapped inside. So there were statements that said that within 30 minutes, the people who could have been saved from the water were saved from the water. So they're saying
Okay,
basically if you were out in 30 minutes, you were alive, and if you weren't, now it's a rescue and or body recovery.
okay.
Excuse me. There was a nurse named Helen Ripa,
Mhm.
who worked for the company. Can I just tell you, like, an electric company, 1915 had a nurse on staff. I might be impressed with them. I
Mm,
might In 1915, they knew enough. They're like, "Ah, we're dealing with all that electricity. We got to have a nurse here, somebody who could help." So
good for them.
I'm good for them because I don't think OSHA existed. Type it up. Let's see. Um, so she got into action right away. She was actually not on the boat. She was pulling up in her little trolley and heard the screams.
Oh,
Um,
man.
they said she did everything from calling Marshall Fields for blankets. She organized people to go to the hospital to triage, flagged down motorists who was like, "You're taking this person home. They're minor injuries. They need to just go home and get out of here."
I bet she was a
So
World War I veteran.
she was everything.
She was on it.
She was on it, and then there was another notable hero, Peter Boyle, who was a deckhand,
Mm.
and he drowned while saving passengers. So he
Oh.
was trying to save people. Um, Even with all of these efforts, 841 passengers and 2 crew members died. But some of the numbers reported 844. So I'm wondering if that was,
Hmm.
one here or there.
Yeah.
Most of the passengers that died that day were under 25 years old.
Oh.
22 entire families died.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
So, the next victims in this were the divers that worked nonstop getting bodies out of the water
Uh-huh.
to the tune of going Looney Tunes and needing all kind, but because they didn't know about mental health then.
Yeah, they
They
didn't
just
help.
got in these gigantic suits that
Mhm.
probably weighed 100 pounds,
Mhm.
dropped them to the bottom of the water. There were pictures that I saw of them pulling little babies out, and just
Oh, no.
you can't do that day in and day out
No.
and not have some kind of trauma.
No.
So that was one of more. Otto Munchna,
Mhm.
was one of the many undertakers who worked for days around the clock, keeping up with the endless number of bodies. Um, the coroner's records indicate that he performed the services for at least 15 victims. Um, Him and his wife, he prepared them, and his wife made the bodies presentable by styling their hair and applying makeup.
Mhm.
They had a funeral home on South Central Park Avenue, but did not have enough room for the bodies, so they brought the bodies out to the house where they had the horse-drawn carriages,
Mhm.
and then they had them down the driveway.
Mm.
So This is terrible. There was grave digging staff at local cemeteries that were working round the clock to dig graves because they didn't have backhoes at that point.
Yeah.
So it would take 2 men 4 hours to dig one grave.
Oh my
And they
god.
had, yes, they had 841 passengers that were all from the area.
Oh, geez.
So
So the
it
whole
was
family went into its own grave probably, right?
It was yeah, it w they're the stories go countless into the funeral homes, the hospitals, the morgues,
Mhm.
they couldn't keep up the caskets, they were burying people in wicker because
Mhm.
they couldn't make the caskets fast enough.
Oh my gosh.
Um, all of the funerals were conducted within a 4-day period. So, that was one of the things they said. There was a pastor who had visited countless churches and then just went to the cemetery and conducted service after service, um, day after day after day. So this is where our haunting starts
Okay.
because you have a lot of displaced souls.
Yeah.
Okay. So the bodies were taken to temporary morgues established in the area for the purposes of identification. One such building was the Reed Murdoch building, which
Mhm.
is the one right on the river. It's that big red building.
Mhm.
And the other one is the Second Regiment, which is famously known as Oprah Harpo Studios by Oprah
Okay.
Winfrey.
Yep, yep.
There was rumors that they were at Excalibur or Castle Nightclub, but those were debunked.
Mm.
So the most famous ghost stories start with this makeshift morgue that was at the Second Regiment,
Mhm.
and this is where they identified the Gray Lady. She was said to have haunted Harpo Studios. There were
Mhm.
security guards who saw her. She was caught on film. Oprah did
Mm.
2 shows dedicated to her,
I feel like I remember
and
this,
my
yeah.
goosebumpies are starting, and, they said you can hear her crying, you can hear children playing, you can
Mm.
hear doors slamming, and there were also accounts of this in the Chicago Tribune report. One of the next areas is that area, that Reed Murdoch building, which is where I'm sorry, I should have said this is where it sank.
Mhm.
So, they had families walking up and down the aisles trying to identify their loved ones. I mean, think about 844 people.
Yeah.
So, they had a temporary morgue set up outside, and now keep in mind also this is July.
It's so hot.
So fucking hot.
So hot.
And they said that the identification project or process continued hour after hour and day after day. They just had sheets that were stretched out on tables. They had people laying out on floors, and the coroners would just come and just take the next one after the next one after the next one.
Mhm.
So this next ghost story is the Eastland connection. Paranormal researchers believe the ghost is connected to the high volume of deaths and tragedies from the maritime disaster, making the area one of the city's most haunted spots.
Ooh.
This is right on the river. And
Mhm.
they said that there are reports that people from the restaurants by will at nighttime they'll see apparitions in the water. The police have actual police reports on file of people calling and saying, "We see somebody drowning, we saw a hand, we saw somebody in the,"
No.
and the police will go down there, and there's no one there.
Wanna go?
Nay. I say
Wanna
nay.
go downtown with me?
So, on the 100th year anniversary, investigators were at the morgue sites, so the 2 most popular ones,
Mhm.
and they used instruments that they put under the water and other equipment that they used in the studio,
Mhm.
and were able to record people talking in, I think it's Czech, is that right? Czech
Yeah, yeah,
Republic?
yeah. That's us.
And they had to look it up because they're like, "We hear these words, we don't know what it means," and they were identified as Czech language, and there were, just so we're on the same page, over 200 Czech Republic immigrants that died the day of the Eastland capsize.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
So that is the story of the Eastland boat disaster and the many hauntings in Chicago from it.
We gotta go
And
on another ghost
I
tour.
did include pictures.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
That's
And
crazy.
there were boat people, like little tugboat guys who were selling, like, tours to see the disaster.
Oh,
Like,
that's bad.
what? Yeah, they said in one of the accounts, they're like, "We had to put a net at the end of the Chicago River to catch bodies from going into the lake."
Oh, no.
So, who draw the straws on that fucking job?
Yeah, right?
I'd be like, "That's not me, not it, not it,
That's the new
motherfuckers."
guy. The new guy.
Yeah, newbie over there is gonna do it, fresh off the fucking police academy.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
So, yes.
I knew of the story. I did not know the story. I knew of
Yeah.
the Oprah haunting, like, I didn't know what it was
Yeah.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
So, thank you. I mean, I didn't make it, but, if you want to look at my document, I
Yeah.
have some solid pictures for the post that I'll also
Okay.
use for mine too.
I love it.
Okay. So
All right.
that's my story, and now I'm gonna fucking get drunk while you tell
You get it.
yours.
You get it, girl.
Doing it.
All right.
Doing it.
So my story is
Mhm.
The Haunting of Hull House.
And I don't know this.
Okay. The
Mhm.
only reason that this one has always been like in the back of my brain is because I believe Hull House is on Halsted, right outside of or on the University of Illinois campus. So I drove past it a lot.
This is in Chicago too?
Yeah,
Oh, goddamn.
like Roosevelt-ish and Halsted.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Okay. So my
Okay.
sources are the hullhousemuseum.org because now it's a museum. You can visit it
Mhm.
anytime you want. Their website, they encourage all the stories.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if I love that,
Yeah, they do.
but okay.
And
Okay.
then I listened to a podcast. It's called Haunted Places Parcast. Not
Okay.
podcast. Oh, so like paranormal cast, maybe?
Oh,
There,
clever.
it just hit
Love
me.
it. Like it.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
So Jane Addams was a socialite, well to do, wealthy family who, in her younger years, recalls in Chicago seeing the disparity, meaning like she's, not wanting for anything, but she was a little kid and she's like, "Dad, why are these people so dirty and poor and whatever?" And then her dad would tell her, some of us are born lucky and some of us are not born so lucky.
Can I stop you for 1 second and
Hmm.
see how you didn't ask me if I knew what disparity was, you just explained it to me? Whereas in my story, I said, "Do you know what listing is?"
Do you want?
And so you just assume I don't know, but I was like, "Hey, question, do you know what this?" And you're like, "Lisa don't know what disparity is, so I'm just gonna go ahead and explain it to her."
Anyway,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so Hull House was a settlement.
Oh,
So settlements back in the
don't
day.
you fucking explain it to me.
You don't
I'm just
want to
kidding,
know?
go. No,
Okay.
I do. I don't
So
know.
settlements back in the day, social settlements began in the 1880s in London in response to problems created by urbanization, industrialization, and immigration. And then it spread to other countries. So affluent people would rent or buy homes in poor areas to provide low income housing to other people and then provide social services to other people or to those people in the communities to help them. So it was
Okay.
like kind of the epitome of I'm a wealthy socialite and I'm going to do charity work.
Okay.
Okay. So Hull House, Jane Addams found, she was born in Cedarville, Illinois. I don't even know where that is.
I don't know where that is. I never heard of it.
In 1860, she graduated from Rockford Female Seminary, so like religious-y kind of thing, right? I
Got
think.
it. Mhm.
In 1881, she founded with her partner like in settlement, Ellen Gates Starr, a world famous social settlement in Hull House or on Hull House on Chicago's near west side in 1889. She lived and worked in Hull House until she died in 1935,
Okay.
to her whole life.
Whole life.
She is regarded and built her reputation as the country's most prominent woman through her writing, settlement work, international efforts. Like, she got shit done. She did
Mhm.
amazing things.
Mhm.
So the idea of a settlement house, it typically attracted educated, native-born, middle-class, upper-class women and men known as residents to live or settle in poor urban neighborhoods. And then some of the social settlements were linked to religious institutions. Others, like Hull House, it was not linked to any church or anything.
Mhm.
By 1900, the U.S. had over 100 settlement houses, and by 1911, Chicago had 13 or 35 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we had troubles.
That's okay.
In the 1890s, Hull House was located in the midst of a densely populated urban neighborhood peopled by Italian, Irish, German, Greek, Bohemian, Russian, Polish, and Jewish immigrants.
You just described every one of the things that I'm made of.
Everyone, everyone.
Every one of them. I was just gonna say
You
that's
get a lot, you get
literally
'em all.
every one of those things I think we have a little bit of in
There it
us.
is.
Okay.
During the 1920s, we then began to include African American populations and Mexican populations, and they began to
Got
put
those
down
too.
roots in the neighborhoods and
Mhm.
joined in the clubs and activities at Hull House. Jane Addams and the Hull House residents provided kindergarten, daycare facilities for children of working mothers, an employment bureau, an art gallery, libraries, English and citizen classes, theater, music, art classes, and it expanded to include 13 buildings in and around. Like it was like its own, literally a settlement.
Okay.
Okay. There was the Jane Club for single working girls. There
Mm.
were meeting places for trade union groups and cultural events. Though extensive supernatural history is pretty well known in the paranormal community,
Mhm.
the whole mansion was not a space where anyone recalls any violent deaths or violence that took place.
Mhm.
It was built in 1856 as a summer home by the wealthy land and real estate developer Charles Hull. The house survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 because it
Love
was
it.
at that time on the outskirts of the city, even though, like, right now it's smack dab in the middle of the city.
I was just gonna say, where did they say this was again?
I would say Roosevelt, Halsted-ish
Okay. Okay.
is okay. It was just far enough out of reach that it wasn't affected by the Chicago fire. There were only 2 notable events of deaths that took place there. The first was of Millicent Hull, Charles's wife, had an unspecified illness and she died in her bedroom in 1860.
Ooh.
The second was the death of a young woman named Irene Donner, who was actually shot outside on the street by a former fiancé. We've
No.
heard that story before.
Have we?
I mean, women being shot by their boyfriends
Oh,
because they
oh,
don't wanna
oh,
be with
oh. I
them?
thought you meant that actual story, and I'm like, I
No.
don't fucking remember that.
So, in spite of what they say is a mostly innocuous history, the ghost stories about the space persisted.
Mhm.
Some of the most notable hauntings include ghosts of children who are said to be heard
Mm.
running in the upstairs corridor and in the courtyard, sometimes called the Fountain Girls.
Because even as ghosts, they can't fucking calm down.
I hear you.
They're ruly toddlers when they're alive, and they're just as ruly when they're not.
So they're in the courtyard. There's supposed I don't know if it's still there, but there was a circular concrete slab. That was where the fountain had stood in the past.
Okay.
And then some of the people would say that that was actually the portal to hell.
Oh, oh, no, no, no. Take it back. Take it back.
And then some people said that there have been reports of, like, monks being seen in and around the mansion, but there was never any religious sect there.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm looking at pictures now. It's crazy.
it's
Go ahead.
crazy.
Yeah,
The
keep going.
mansion's most renowned ghost, however, is the resident Lady in White. There are
With
different
the lady in white.
categories, I'm telling you. There are different categories of common ghost stories told around the world. One of the most popular apparitions is the Lady in White, a woman who died tragically and unfulfilled, usually is seen wearing a white dress. Hull House's Lady in White is said to be none other than Millicent Hull.
Oh.
When
Oh.
Jane Addams and Ellen Gates Starr began renting at Hull House, they were not in full possession of the mansion. And there were tenants who told stories about, so like there were people there and then they bought it, but then the people didn't leave right away and left.
Mhm, mhm.
So there were stories told about how Millicent haunted her former bedroom, and it is said that that was Jane Addams' bedroom. And many claimed to see her. The story was well known. She was generally considered harmless. Jane allegedly had a night terror in that bedroom where there was a woman holding her down in bed, making it difficult to breathe, and it happened
That
more
is
than
not
once.
harmless. That is very harmful.
There's also a story that Jane Addams wrote a lot of books, and she
You know what?
wrote.
I was just gonna ask. I'm like, why do I know that name?
Yeah, so she wrote
Okay.
a lot of books, and there was one specifically that she wrote about Hull House. So she wrote about that there was a belief that the attic was haunted, possibly by Millicent. In the podcast I listened to, there was a story of a person who was supposed to go up to the attic. This guy is supposed to go up to the attic in the old-timey days and sort through all the junk and pick out any antiques and furniture and things that might be able to be used,
Oh,
right?
I love that job.
I would love that job.
I would
So the
love it.
man is up, and you can imagine like these great big houses, like this attic's got to be like 3 apartments worth of space, probably.
Did you see the pictures? It doesn't look like it, but
I
yes, I
know.
imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So he's picking through stuff and he hears a cough over his
No,
shoulder.
no,
He turns
no.
around and there's a little boy up there. And the little guy is like a little dirty and disheveled, and he just thinks one of the kids wandered upstairs. The boy,
Sir,
I know,
you're
the
giving
boy
me
holds up
fucking
a
heebie-jeebies.
finger, like holds up a
No.
finger to his lips, like shh, and points to a far corner that's dark and in shadows. The man goes over to the corner. He looks around. He doesn't see anything. He turns around to tell the little boy everything's okay.
I hate this story.
And then when his back is turned to the corner, something grabs him and
No!
it feels like there's long, sharp fingernails.
Sir,
Wait,
no.
the little boy smiles with
Oh, fuck no.
the whitest, most
No,
perfect
stop.
teeth the
Stop.
man has ever seen.
You're the worst. You're the worst. Everybody is screaming right now. Everybody is screaming. The few who made it through my story have now left yours.
Remember the episode on Friends where Ross
God
whitens his
damn it.
teeth? Do you remember?
Yes.
And then Phoebe sees him and she's like, Damon!
This is a terrible story, and it's terrible all over the place. Why are little kid ghosts the most scariest
Because
ghosts?
they're supposed to be devils. All
Do you
right.
know that to be a fact?
Yeah, that's what I've always read is like the devil makes himself seem harmless and unassuming, so he's often taking the
Damn it. Why would you tell me
children. I don't know.
that? New fear unlocked. New level
There
of
it
fear
is.
unlocked.
So the
God damn
guy
it.
struggles, he gets free, the boy
Got a bunch of
disappears, he
sage
runs
around
out
here.
of the attic, and he won't go back to the attic ever again. Okay.
You think?
You think? So Jane wrote in one of her books, I had a half skeptical reputation for a haunted attic, so far respected by the tenants living on the second floor that they always kept a large pitcher full of water on the attic stairs.
What?
Their explanation for the custom was so incoherent that I was sure it was a survival of the belief that a ghost could not cross running water.
I'm sorry. How's this working?
So I don't know if the water being there,
This one I'm going to
the
need you to
ghost.
explain to me.
So I don't know if it's the water being there, the ghost can't pass the pitcher of water, or if they saw or heard the ghost, they could pour the water and the ghost couldn't cross the water.
I thought it was salt.
No, I remember hearing this like in the vampire stories and things back, like Dracula and stuff. Like they can't cross running water. Yeah.
Okay.
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 So here's the
So
most.
showers should be safe.
Yes. So we have
Okay.
children in the garden. We have Millicent in the bedroom. We have, I don't know what in the attic.
We got the boy
Here's
who his dentist loves. Okay.
yes, here's the most
No,
notorious.
I don't
This
want
is the
any more.
most notorious is Hull House's reported the devil baby.
No, sis.
Ah! All right.
You're gonna
One
keep going.
day,
God damn it.
one day at Hull House, the residents are shocked because a group of women show up at the front door demanding to see this devil baby. The knowledge of the existence of the devil baby burst upon the residents of Hull House one day when 3 Italian women, with an excited rush, run through the front door asking and
Oh God.
demanding that he be shown to them. No amount of denial convinced him that he was not there, for they knew exactly what he was, with his cloven hooves, his
No.
pointy ears,
Dear God.
and his little tail. Moreover,
Cash?
the devil
What?
baby had been able to speak as soon as he was born and was
Aubrey?
most shockingly profane.
Both my kids.
Okay. So the
Oh,
Italian version
God.
is there was a pious Italian girl married to an atheist. So a very religious Italian girl marries an atheist.
Fucking mansplainer. Okay.
Do you not want me to tell you?
No, I will. No, I'm just teasing you.
Whatever. Her husband vehemently shut up. He gets
I
all
can't
pissed
help
off.
it.
He gets all pissed off because there's a holy picture in the house and he's an atheist. So he tears the picture off the wall and he screams at his wife, I would sooner have a devil in the house
Oh no.
than have to look at that picture
What was the
As-
picture
of like the Virgin Mary or
of?
Jesus.
No.
So the devil incarnated himself in their coming child. So it was a punishment for ripping the picture off the wall.
Why would the
As-
devil be upset about it though? Wouldn't Jesus be upset about it?
I think they thought it was like he's welcoming me.
Well, then he would be happy.
Dad? No.
The devil.
Yeah, he's not upset, dude. It's a
Oh.
punishment from God. And the devil's like,
Oh,
woohoo, I
I'm
just
with
got
you
an
now.
invitation.
Boy, I know why you mansplained to me.
Anyway, as soon as
you gotta
the
fucking leave a trail of breadcrumbs to follow sometimes.
As soon as the devil baby was
Oh,
born, he ran about the
devil babies.
table, shaking his finger in deep reproach at his father, who finally caught him and in fear and trembling brought him to Hull House.
Okay.
When the residents there, in spite of the baby's shocking appearance, wishing to save his soul, took him to the church for baptism.
Okay.
They found the shawl was empty
No.
and the devil baby was running lightly over the
He
backs
was.
of the pews out of the church.
Bing, 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 bing,
Bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing,
bing, bing, bing. Yep.
bing.
The Jewish version
God.
was to the effect that the father of 6 daughters said before the birth of a 7th child that he would rather have a devil in the house than another girl.
Bastard.
Yep. Whereupon the devil
Uh-oh.
baby promptly appeared.
And he said, not today, Junior.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So Jane Addams. Okay, so subsequently the baby was said to have been taken to Hull House. It was kept
Mhm.
locked in the attic, hidden from public. The community's insistence on the existence of the devil baby went on for weeks and weeks. The Hull House residents finding themselves like rebuffing requests and demands to see the baby, blah, blah, blah. They lined the streets hoping to prove its existence, offering money to be able to see this thing.
I would love to see people doing that. Like, what are you guys all in line for? And they're like, we want to see the devil baby. And I would literally just be like, boop, 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 right behind.
Beep, boop, boop.
Right behind. I'd be like, sorry, I'm just going to wait here too.
Put a tail on Maisie with a little
Oh
points
my
on
God. Fucking Maisie.
it. So Jane Addams was fascinated by the 19th ward's obsession with this rumored satanic child. She wrote extensively about it
Uh-huh.
and kind of like had no idea
You got the
what to
hiccups, bro?
yeah, what to make of it. She loved to hear people's stories. She recounted it in her own writing. And then she thinks the story of the devil baby evolved today as it might have been centuries before the devil baby.
You keep saying the devil baby.
The
It's
devil
kind of
baby.
funny.
I know. In
Oh, God.
response, it was like a folk tale that they developed in their own culture, in response to the needs of like anxious wives and mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they kind of used it like I don't know what the right word is, but like a story to shame or tame their husbands. Be like, look what happened to this family because the husband didn't, did this or did
I
that.
love that.
That's what Jane Addams thinks that this kind of
Oh
like
my God.
mhm.
I fucking love
She
that.
says
You go,
this
girls.
the stories finally became a rude creed for domestic conduct, softening the treatment that men accorded to women. She believed it was a tool for women to express themselves, giving them a louder voice in their home. It may have been a call out from abused and mistreated women to
Yeah.
condemn or warn their husbands that their
Mm-hmm.
actions have disastrous consequences.
Boom.
Bam.
Fuck yeah, they did.
Bam. And she thought it was
I
interesting.
love it.
So, you know how, like, a lot of times when you hear about these, like, cultural things and stuff like this, and
I
they're
sure do.
often like, well, the woman did this or that, and that's why this happened,
Oh, for
right? Like,
sure. Yeah.
it's
It's
our
always the woman's
failings.
fault. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, this story, Jane Addams says, posited the husband's
Yes.
mistreatment and wrongdoing as
Yes.
the source of the problem.
Yes. Put it back on
Bam.
them. You better
Bam.
not cheat on me, motherfucker. You're gonna have a devil baby. Pew
Bam.
pew pew. Like right over the. I could just picture him right over
I
him.
love
Boink
it.
boink
Right
boink boink
over.
boink boink boink
So
boink
I
boink.
don't know that they like have actual ghost tours, but they don't hide this history in the museum. Like they have a whole section on the website and they talk about it. I don't know that they do
So
like out and out ghost tours.
here's what I love about um houses that are like mansions.
Mhm.
If you look at the Jane Addams Hull House Museum
Mhm.
page,
Mhm.
um number one, it looks like like a small house now.
I always thought that it was a small house to
Okay,
me.
it looks like a small house.
It yeah.
Because there's some pictures that are like show a corner house that's huge, and I was like, "Oh, that's a gigantic fucking house."
Oh, I
And then the
see.
other ones are like Chicago's landmark.
Mhm.
This I think is what it actually is,
Okay.
and it looks like it's not even as big as my house.
So the smaller house, with,
The one
like, the
that's 800, it
columns
looks like, is that on the UIC campus? Is that the sign I
yes.
see out in front?
I
Yeah.
drove past that thing almost every freaking day back in
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
90s.
saying. So, well, number 1, let's just give credit where credit is due. The porch is amazing.
It's beautiful.
The house is beautiful. I love that it's set, like, right in the middle of downtown.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't wanna see that picture right there. Little devil baby. I think it's just funny that I look at that now and I'm like, I would love to know the actual square footage of that house.
I think that that great big house with the picture is probably maybe where it started kind of a situation, and they said that it eventually incorporated 13 buildings, and maybe the UIC campus, some of those buildings are gone. Now that's the dorms in the college and stuff, but they kept this one building
Okay, because
intact.
yeah, the picture that I'm looking at right now is Jane. There's like a sign, like a blue sign or black sign
Yes.
right outside that says Jane Addams Hull House Museum, 800 South Halsted, and then there's a UIC thing,
Yeah.
and that's the pillar house. Like, so it's got like a wraparound porch, big
Yeah.
wooden doors, and then like 6 windows on the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I bet
that.
that was just like one part of the whole settlement at one point and they kept
Got
it.
it. Settlement. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I always
Okay.
was fascinated because I knew the stories and I drove past it all the time. And I was like, ooh, let's talk about the devil baby.
I didn't know the stories, so thank you for telling me that. That nightmare of a child story in the fucking attic.
I know. I was like, I'm listening to the podcast and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh
No.
no.
No, don't smile a gigantic white smile at me.
Ah!
Why is a gigantic white smile such a frightening
So
thing?
scary, right?
So scary. And
Why?
I would love a gigantic white smile.
I would love that.
I always wanted a big giant pair of Roebuckers, like extra large teeth, because
No
my teeth are
chiclets.
so small. They're like
Chiclets.
little tiny teeth. They're little baby teeth.
Someday when I'm rich, I'm gonna get veneers. They're gonna be
Oh
gorgeous.
God, I'm gonna get the
Mm,
biggest veneers you ever did see.
gorgeous.
So when I smile at you, you're like, stop smiling at me, you devil baby. That was fun. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, so no attics. Don't go on listing boats. Roll up your fucking windows.
Come
What
on,
else?
George. Let's go.
Bye.
Bye.
Executive produced by me, Marie Abenante, and my sister, Lisa Linsner.
Music by John Bartman, track Shooter on the Roof. Cover art by the talented and beautiful Alexis Guerrero.
And all of this is possible editing and recording using Riverside.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.